We're good.
Okay. Well, this is a long-awaited concert, as many of you know. We've rescheduled a few times, and finally, here we are. And we're in this cozy art room we've never had a concert in my time here. If you hear some feet upstairs, there's a youth theater production going on upstairs. So the building is full, and it's really, really wonderful to have you all here. My name is Ashley Starrow. I'm the program director here at Main Street Arts, and I'll tell you a little bit about this project, and then we'll kick it off with some songs. So this is called Life Songs, and this project was inspired by a friend of ours who works at a place called the Academy for the Love of Learning in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and they have this program called Life Songs, and the purpose of it is really pairing songwriters with elders in the community to tell elders' stories and highlight their life experiences. And at the heart of it is really believing that everybody has a story, and everybody's stories matter and are worth sharing. And what I have found fascinating about this project is it's not just about the songs, but it's also about the relationships that are formed between the songwriters and the elders, and hopefully you'll be hearing a little bit about that as we share these songs. So, without further ado, our first song here is by our wonderful songwriter Michael Zerfy, and we are accompanied by two incredible musicians today. We have Melissa Schneckenberger on the violin and Sarah Carlisle on the bass. Is there a way to lower that so that we can
Yes.
or move it?
Good call. Yeah, that was okay, it's good. It'll come back later. What's that?
Is Stan here?
This is the story of Stan the man.
Stan is here.
And Stan is here.
Where is it?
He's incognito right now. He's over at the end of the row, in the front.
He's Stan the man.
Stan, he's right there. There he is. And this is the story of Stan the man. I'm going to tell you about a guy named Stan. Stan the man with the story in hand. He's always ready to tell you one. I've heard a few and it's so much fun. He's got a smile on his face, twinkle in his eye. You can already tell, I think he's quite the guy. Stan the man. He grew up right here in Vermont, and he always gave back even better than he got. And life gave him about all that it had, and Stan always smiled. He was glad just to live another day, and at the end of each one he'd look up in the sky and pray. A simple thank you. Stan the man is always looking for what is right. And when he finds it, he's willing to fight. Not just for himself, but for everyone else. Stan the man, looking out for the other guy. He led men in Vietnam because he said he could tell directions looking at the sun. They didn't believe him, but he turned them right, and they survived that day and went on to fight again. And when his tour was done, he fought and home to get his old job back. Line grinder supervisor, 25 years on the clock. He told his girlfriend when he went to Nam, don't wait for me, you might be wasting your time. And she didn't like the idea but said okay and found a new guy when Stan went away. When he came back, he saw him walking down the street. She gave him a big hug and said, I want you to be my new beau. And Stan looked at that guy and said, way to go. And the man, he's always looking for what is right. And when he finds it, he's willing to fight, not just for himself, but for everyone else. Stand the man looking out for the other guy. And he took care of her, the end of her life, and he forgot how to feel because it was so rough. But Stan didn't give up because he's tough. Kind of a dark period there. Now he visits vets every day, and even though they sometimes don't have much to say, he knows what it's like and he goes anyway, and they like it and so does he. And he still rides motorcycle, he has a girlfriend, and they taught each other how to laugh and love and live again. And they ride out for burgers and still know how to have fun. Yeah, Stan the man, he'll get it done. He's for the many, he's for the one, always looking for what is right. He fought for his country, he fought for his job, he fights for the vets who ain't got long. He's got a flag in his house and he's got one outside. Stan's true example of authentic American pride. Yeah, Stan the man, he'll get it done. He's for the many, he's for the one, always looking for what is right. Stan the man, he'll get it done. He's for the many, he's for the one, always looking for what is right. Stan the man, and if you ever come across him, ask him to tell you a story.
Set up to the next song here, trying to figure out about the bass. Well, it's great to see you all here, and I'm so glad you all came out for this. We've been, as a lot of you know, we've been looking forward to this for literally for months. We we scheduled this back in January. In fact, the little program there has I think the original date on there. A little memento. But
I don't think I introduced you.
Me?
No, you.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Putnam Smith. I didn't introduce him because he's my husband. He's just around everywhere I go.
Yeah, my name is Putnam, and I had the pleasure of writing 2 songs for this project. And the first one was written with my friend Maisie Goodell Crowther right here. Full disclosure, I will always refer to her as Maisie Goodell Crowther because when I was moving to the area, my dad said, "Oh, that's where my old friend Maisie lives." And it turns out that Maisie and my father knew each other since early childhood. And but I never met her before, and this was a really amazing opportunity to get to know her, and kind of go deep into a lot of the all the amazing aspects of her life. I think one of the learning experiences for me in writing these songs is that we often think of like a life in the way that maybe a movie would portray it, as kind of like a linear narrative that just kind of goes forward in this way. And lives don't necessarily work that way at all. And sure, through time they might go forward, but the amazing thing with Maisie, to me, was all these amazing different components of her life, being a visual artist, and being an amateur geologist and rock enthusiast, and an educator, and the list goes on. I've got a small chunk of those things in this song. But I guess the metaphor that came up to me, for kind of a life is less like a linear track and more like a kaleidoscope or a collage. As we kind of got deep into it, one of the books she mentioned had the title "Everything Correlates," and I was like, wow, I might have to steal, in the grand folk tradition of stealing little motifs, I had to steal that title for this song. This song's called "Everything Correlates." Sandstone and garnet, prehnite and quartz, granite with mica to its core. Take these stones, minerals and bones, learn how they came to be. Formed from the earth and shaped through history, you will start to see me. Rose, madder, ochre, viridian, cobalt and aureolin. We'll learn from these hues how they conspire, fashion both ocean and fire. 1-inch sable flat, paintbrush in my hand. Look close and you will understand. There's a pattern to it all, a shape to everything. Everything correlates, let it sound and sing. There's a pattern to it all, a shape to everything. Everything correlates, let it sound and sing. Shady Hill School, the shores of Ipswich wild. Family road trip west when I was a child. Uluru, Australia, Iceland and Greece. Each place has something new to teach. Oh, gathering at All Souls, the Blanche Moise Chorale, brushing painter, powder painter group morale. From ancestors and kin to my own children's children, I want to pass on what I've learned to them. There's a pattern to it all, a shape to everything. Everything correlates, let it sound and sing. There's a pattern to it all, everything. Everything correlates. Let it sound and sing. We're all just grains of sand, struggling to become finer grains of sand, till one day we are one. Walk with me, Crane Beach, listen to the mystery of the sea. Run your fingers through the sand and you'll find the melody of me. There's a pattern to it all, a shape to everything. Everything correlates. Let it sound and sing. There's a pattern to it all, a shape to everything. Everything correlates. Let it sound and sing. Let it sound and sing. One other thing I should not fail to mention is that Maisie, among many other things, is a poet, and there was one line in there, probably the best line in here, that came from one of her poems, which is, "We're all just grains of sand struggling to become finer grains of sand," which just, I was like, oh, I gotta, again, I have to steal that. so thank you for that, Maisie. Yes, yeah. All right. Also, while we're doing this sound here, I also want to give a shout out. There was some thank yous on the back of the program to many people, but I neglected to put someone who should be on the top of the list, Mike and Sue Smith. Let's give them a round of applause. They are
Yes, Marty.
Marty.
Marty. Marty and Sue.
No, it's Mike and Sue.
Mike and Sue.
But Marty was on the show.
not only are they here videoing today's performance, but they were able to come to most, if not all, I'm not sure if they're all of them, but to meet with some of the sessions that we had with the songwriters and the participants. So we have some great photos and some video from that too. So stay tuned, we'll try and make that available and for everyone.
And on the thank you train of things, we also need to give a huge thank you to Sneior Solutions, who made this whole concert possible. If you haven't checked out the work that Sneior Solutions does, the Council on Aging in Southern in this area, and they are an incredible organization and have been great partners for us. So we're very indebted and grateful for their support. The next song that I'm going to sing was written with my dear friend Tom. Tom Goldschmidt. And I just found out that Tom passed away on Friday. So I'll try not to get emotional, but I clearly am. Tom is an amazing human who many of you know in this room. And Tom, I met him singing in a hospice choir called Hallowell. And I was his house sitter for a while, and then he was on the board of trustees here at Main Street Arts. And so I felt very lucky when he said yes to writing a song with me. And Tom Tom and I wrote this whole song together. Every single word to this song is Tom's words. It's truly co-written. And I followed him around with a pen and paper and pencil and just wrote down everything he was saying, because Tom Goldschmidt was a poet. He spoke like a poet. So wise. I learned much more about dying and being alive by getting to be with that man in the last few months of his life. So it is an honor to get to have spent time with him and sing this tune. I'll also just say that Tom wanted this song to be about his home. Have any of you have ever been up there? It's really quite an oasis that him and his partner Kathy made. It's like this just beautiful place with gardens, and he didn't want the song to be about different periods of his life. He wanted it to be about right now, and his deep gratitude for his home and his partner and his family in this moment. And I just thought that was so cool. I wrote him one song first, and it was like childhood, teenage, church, adulthood. He was like, no, I don't want that. I want right now. So this is called In This Place. In this place, high on a hill, the sky it moves, no, it's never still. In this place, I wasn't letting in. I chose what was good, followed life within. I let life be, I let life be. I have all I need, my love, my family. I let life be. In this place, I fell in love, working beside you, grandchildren's house. In this place, at the edge of the world, the night pours in, the earth takes over. I let life be, I let life be. I have all I need, my love, my family. I let life be, I let life be, I let life be. I have all I need, my love, my family. I let life be. What comes next, I do not know. May it be graceful, may it be so.
Yes.
Next, we are lucky to have the one and only John Haddon.
You know what, I'm actually really unfamiliar with microphones. But I am familiar with being in the space with people. Can I just do it from here instead? I mean, I can...
Anyone else, I would say no, but for you, John, I know you're up to that task.
I love this whole idea, and we tend to lionize celebrities on screens, and we think that's where, you know, the important stuff happens. And I believe kind of the opposite, that the greatness is in us, in our circles here, and that we diminish ourselves sometimes. And if we get a chance in actual spaces, in physical spaces together, to recognize what our kids can do and what our, you know, grandfathers and mothers can do, and I just feel like the tide will rise, and we'll begin to take ourselves back seriously and inspire all the kids that come after us and make something good. I mean, we can't all have our statues on Mount Rushmore. But this is a way and I gotta say, it's clear to me from hearing the songs that the people that we talked to Dempster, I talked to Dempster, you guys gave us so much material. It's trusting and beautiful, and thank you. Dempster, it seemed to me, when I talked to him, we had a wonderful conversation, and it seemed to me that he lived a dozen lives already, in all kinds of different facets and refracted places. You'll hear that there's some references, I just stuffed as much as I could into it, and some of it you won't have any idea what it's about. But so, just a little heads up, if you ask him later about the hamster as opposed to the rabbit, there's a story that's an epic by itself in that. He used to help his dad do magic shows in large places, and so the hamster and the rabbit, it was an important choice to make, and not necessarily a happy one, right? Anyway, the song won't explain that to you, so you'll have to ask him yourself about that afterwards, okay? So, it's funny how things wax and wane. After doing magic shows with my dad and acting in New York, I ended up in Memphis. And I was there when Martin Luther King was shot. My grandfather got run out of Memphis by Boss Crump. You see, only black people picked up garbage in Memphis. So they nailed a board across the buckboard to take away the garbage. It was drawn by a mule. Because the black guys couldn't sit down, because that was a sign of disrespect. Because Boss Crump don't allow no easy riding here. My grandfather, the newspaper man, kind of opposed that whole deal. So, no easy riders. No easy riders here. It's funny, things wax and wane. My daughter lives in Putney, that's how we came. Decided on a hamster, 'cause rabbits are tough. Testified in Congress, once was enough. Sadie, she's out there in the truck. And there was that bullet running amok. take a leaf of that tree, put it in a song that's fine by me. I needed something safe, something stable, something interesting. Insurance! Led to going undercover to stop gangs in New York. The Born to Kills was one, and they decided to retaliate. We had just taken all their counterfeit goods on Canal Street, and we're ready to move. When a big truck came and blocked us in, and we couldn't move. And these guys with baseball bats came, and they were breaking the windows in. And a bullet ricocheted around in the inside of the van, right past my kidney. And then there was the time that we found drugs and counterfeit handbags. Fake Fendi. Fake Fendi. What is real Fendi anyway? Funny how things wax and wane. My daughter lives in Putney, that's where we came. Decided on a hamster, it's rabbits and tough. I testified in Congress, once was enough. Sadie's out there in the truck. And there was that bullet running amok. So if you want to pick a leaf of that tree, put it in a song that's fine by me. And sits on my chest and meows because it's feeding time. And we've got a white cat that walks around just like John Wayne. And then there's Sadie. Gotta make sure everybody is not eating out of everybody else's bowl. We go for a long walk, Sadie and me. And I get to walk the kinks out. She takes a good poop. When we get back, Dorothy is left to go teach the kids who are neurodiverse. She knows that stuff. She's the real one around here. And then I fix up the house, one way or another. No! Look at the list. The list, oh yeah, I'm lost without the list. Wax and wane. My daughter lives in Putney, that's why we came. We decided on a hamster, 'cause rabbits are tough. I testified in Congress, once was enough. Sadie's out there in the truck. And there was that bullet running amok. So if you want to take a leaf of that tree, put it in a song that's fine by me. That's fine by me. That's fine. That's fine. Fine by me.
Berger on the fiddle there, ladies and gentlemen. And behind me, Sarah Carlisle on upright bass.
You know, John, before you get off stage, we gotta tell them about our next project.
Oh.
Put you on the spot.
We-
but- yeah. You go.
I generally like to see things being done, not necessarily by me, but there's a project I've been encouraged by MSA to look into we're calling Tales from the Land. And so I'm interviewing people who have had experience with the land one way or another, either as farmers or people in the woods, people with animals, a lot of animal stories coming up. One who's spent his life restoring beautiful old cars and woodies. And I thought it would be great for people, especially kids, to hear what that experience is about and what the relationship with the land is about, and how we used to do it, how we're doing it now, and what does it look like from here on in. How can we take care of it and each other, which is the same thing, right? And so the idea is to rustle up an ensemble of kids, young high schoolers, right?
Yeah, and we've actually opened it up to
Younger.
9 to 90.
9 to 90. We're all kids, right?
Yeah.
So,
Or 100. We're not excluding it.
no. And so I've got all these transcripts that I'm compiling, and I'm going to write a play from those verbatim, and then make them into a dialogue play, and the kids will perform their elders. They won't be their own elders, but they'll be our elders. And then everybody will come with their friends and families, and they'll hear each other's stories, and get a load of their kids doing it. And then that might lead to conversations about common ground, as it were, afterwards. So that's the idea. We'll be doing it in May.
Thanks, John.
All right. Well, we got one more tune here for you. Again, thank you all so much for coming and sharing this project with us. It's been such an honor and a joy for me to get to know the two participants I worked with, Maisie and Haida Bredfeldt. I kind of went into it being like, I'm going to learn so much about these people, but I also feel like I just got this wisdom you get from just hearing their stories and the challenges in different chapters of someone's life. And Haida, I remember it was the first person I started working with, and I showed up kind of not knowing whether she was even going to say yes to doing the project, because we talked about it, through TLOS. Thank you, TLOS, for helping organize and coordinate. So I came kind of with maybe we'll sit down and maybe she'll say, oh no, this isn't a project for me. And I would say before 60 seconds was up, she was already into these amazing stories. I was just like, okay, do you mind if I take out my notebook and do you mind if I record? And so we were off and running on that very first session. And for both the people I worked with, we met about 6, 7, 8 times I think, and it was maybe session 5 or 6 when I hadn't started any music yet. I just kind of had all these notes. I was like, oh man, I don't know how is this going to come together. All these amazing chapters in Haida's life, and then about it's like 1:30 in the morning. I woke up, middle of the night, pretty much for me. 2 young children, so I went to bed early. Woke up in the middle of the night, and I've been writing songs since I was like 7 years old, and this has never happened to me, but woke up in the middle of the night and had the melody and like most of the chorus like just fully formed in my mind. So I had to sneak out and away from the kids, away from my wife, and took out my guitar and quietly kind of made a little voice memo and scribbled down the chorus and the first verse. Went back to bed, and then about 20 minutes later I woke up again and had to write the second verse. So yeah, that was the process on this, and it was just a joy doing this. So, all right, this song is called "The Good Life." I was just 17 when I left Germany, through hurricanes to the shores of New York City. Well, Auntie took me in Union Street in old Brooklyn, English lessons 4 times a day. On break from the bakery I'd sneak out to the Met. Paintings took me far, far away. When I first fell in love, a fool I loved to some, quit school to see the country from a school bus, guiding a group of kids, me and the man I was sleeping with, the civil rights movement just beginning. I was dreaming of a good life, focused on living every day, hoping that one fine day I'd find a good life. Well, landed in Vermont, bought a house thanks to my aunt. By now I had 2 kids of my own. Back to school, learned my degree, helping folks to sobriety. But the dreamer who wore my ring was never home. Gotta love, love, love to live the good life. Gotta focus on living every day. Gotta give, 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 sometimes give it all away. Find the good life. These were hard, hard times. They got harder still. When I asked him to leave, it nearly took the life out of me. It nearly took the life out of me. Can't say it took me by surprise to find the love of my life. I'd known him over lunch for 9 years. We laughed at everything. He saved his wine money for a ring. On Sunset Lake we made ourselves a home, and the walls all filled with art and joy in my heart. Shared nearly half a century. Gotta love, love, love to live the good life. Gotta focus on living every day. Gotta give, 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 sometimes give it all away to find a good, good life. Gotta love, love, love to live a good life. Gotta focus on living every day. Gotta give, 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 sometimes
Thank you all so much for
Thank
coming
you.
and sharing this afternoon with us, and what a special event. We appreciate you.
And we do have some little treats back there. Please feel free to stay and chat. And we'll be around if you have questions or anything. But mostly, thank you all so much for coming and being part of this.
Thank you. In this place, high on a hill, the sky it moves, no it's never still. In this place, I was invited in, I chose what's good, followed like the wind. I let life be. Fell in love, standing beside you, grandchildren's house. In this place, at the edge of the world, the night pours in, the earth takes over. I let life be, I let life be. Next, I do not know. May it be graceful, may it be so.